Hi everybody, Nathan Ronen, CFA here with another update. This one targeted for Level 2 candidates who are taking their exams in May, August, or November 2024. And also, I guess you can consider this applicable to Level 1 candidates who plan on taking the Level 2 exam in August or November once they get their results from the February exam. If this is you, you may want to listen to this update because it's going to be very helpful to you because it's answering the question that I am getting many times from candidates over the years. Could be, hey Nathan, I'm taking the Level 2 exam. I'm not really feeling good about this. It doesn't look like it's going to be a pass. Is there any suggestions or tips you can give me? Hey Nathan, I hear that Level 2 is the toughest of the 3 levels. How can I make sure that I can get through this exam on the first try? Or Nathan, I've retaken this Level 2 exam 3 times. I don't know what's going on here. I took Level 1. I passed it with flying colors, had no problems, just studied a few weeks before the exam. And now I'm here with Level 2. I'm sitting 3 times. I think I know the material, but I just keep not passing the exam, and I don't know why. Anything you can help me with? Okay. If this is you, or if this is something you heard, you don't want to fall into these traps. So if you want to hear it further, please press the subscribe button and the notifications button so that I can continue to get these updates to you on a weekly or bi-weekly basis as I post them. All right, well, let's face a couple of facts about Level 2. Number one reason that I find, based on my 28 years of CFA Level 2 teaching experience and dealing with and working with candidates to help them to pass their Level 2 exam, is that people treat Level 2 just like Level 1. I used these materials, or I did this number of mock exams, or I studied this amount of time in advance of the exam for Level 1. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they apply the same study approach to Level 2 as they did for Level 1. That would be a very, very wise decision if the Level 2 exam was structured and was the same as the Level 1 exam, but it's not. Level 1 was 180 random multiple choice questions covering the 10 different topic areas in the CFA Level 1 program. Level 2 is 88 questions. It's less than half of the questions you had at Level 1, still covering the same 10 topics that you had in the Level 1 program. So what's the difference besides the number of questions? What you need to do to answer those questions. Level 2 questions, when you have only 88 questions, 44 in session 1, 44 in session 2, 11 item sets in each one with 4 questions each, 44 and 44 makes 88. What's the difference? You have more time to do each question than you did on the Level 1 exam. So each question will have to be more, not necessarily difficult, but more involved, deeper than a Level 1 question. So it's not going to just be random multiple choice. You'll be given a case or a little scenario, and you'll be asked 4 questions based on the paragraphs in that scenario. You got to be ready for that. It's going to be much more analytical. It's going to be much more hands-on. It's going to be much more application of the material in the Level 2 program than you had at Level 1. So you cannot study for item sets, for vignettes as they're called, the same way that you study for Level 1 random multiple choice questions. I understand that the item sets have a choice A, B, and C, but what you need to do is you're going to need to integrate concepts. You're going to need to integrate readings. You're going to need to integrate learning outcome statements that you had during your study period in order to answer these questions. This is very, very important. And if you don't, then you may be sitting at Level 2 for a couple of times or more until you get it down pat. It's not studying 800 hours instead of 600 hours or 400 hours instead of 200 hours. It's having a completely different approach to studying for the exam. And that's what I help you with, how to do that. Now, the other thing is, if you're a retaker, you shouldn't have to retake Level 2 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Obviously, what you're doing is wrong. Obviously, the materials that you may be using are not sufficient to pass the exam. Obviously, if you're using the CFA Institute materials, you're not connecting the dots. That's what I'm here for, okay? And then also, the level 2 exam is the largest of the 3 exams. It has the most material that you're responsible for, plus you're also implicitly have to understand the material that was presented in level 1. Now, they're not going to test you on level 1 concepts or level 1 material, but some of the level 1 things that you learn, like dividend discount models, free cash flow, are embedded in the level 2 program. So there is some buildup from level 1 into level 2. So level 2 definitely has the widest scope of material that you're responsible for and less questions. So each question is going to be more involved, and you need to know how to attack these item set questions. If you use the same approach that you used for level 1, you may be sitting for this exam multiple times. And I got to tell you, that's frustrating. It's not cost effective. It's not time effective. Time is money. Registration fees are money. You really need to be better to yourself. You really need to study appropriately. Unfortunately, in the CFA curriculum and in the learning outcome statements and in the actual learning ecosystem, they don't teach you how to study for the exam. They don't prepare, they give you the materials for the exam, they give you the tools, but they don't show you how to use the tools. That's what you need to do to pass the level 2 exam, is study the materials, but also know how to apply it to exam type questions. That's the key to passing level 2. I learned it, take it from experience. I learned it the first time around the hard way. I failed my level 2 exam, and then I realized, hey, there's a little bit of a game here. It's not who knows the material the best, it's who can actually apply the material that they're learning to the questions that are being asked in the way that the CFA Institute wants to see it. That's very important. So the second time around, I worked with a prep provider. I used materials, I used the CFA's materials, and I put it all together, and it was a completely different result. Did I know the material any better? Probably not. But I knew how to apply the material a lot better. I knew how to connect the material a lot better. That was important. And if that's what you want to do, you're looking at the person that can help you do that, just check out my website at chalkandboard.org. That's CHALK and AND, chalk and BOARD, chalk and board, like chalk on a board, chalkandboard.org. You got my number there. You got my email. You can contact me. You can WhatsApp me. Happy to help you out. But please don't underestimate the level 2 exam. I'm not trying to intimidate you. I'm not trying to say that you can't do it without a prep provider or without me working with you. Some people can, but there's no reason to take this exam multiple times. Increase your odds of passing on the first time. Do what you have to do because it's very expensive to retake these exams. It's your time, and I don't want to see you frustrated. Let me help you out. All the best to you. And again, don't pursue level 2 with a level 1 approach. Understand and apply. Don't memorize. That's the key to passing level 2. Have a good day.